हेलो फ्रेंड्स। तो आज के क्लास में हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे एफआईआर के बारे में। एफआईआर दैट मींस फर्स्ट इंफॉर्मेशन रिपोर्ट that has been dealt under section 154 of CRPC, and in this class we will discuss in detail about the FIR. Several aspects of FIR has been asked in several exams previously in different state judiciary and other law exams. So we will discuss in detail in this class. But before that, I want to tell you that if you want to take classes for judiciary and civil services, please contact us in the number given in the description. So let's move ahead with the class. See, FIR, as we all know, that FIR is lodged only in case of cognizable offense. Cognizable offense. Now, I have made a previous video where I have discussed the different elements of an FIR, which has been described under section 154. Please see the video Information and Investigation under CRPC to know about the details of different elements of FIR. So in this class, in this video, we are not going to discuss about the different elements of FIR, but several questions, several other aspects which is very important related to FIR and which has been which is very often asked in the different exams, that we are going to discuss today. So one aspect is that what is the evidentiary value of an FIR? What is the evidentiary value of an FIR? This is the first aspect we are going to discuss. And the second aspect that we are going to discuss is what is the consequence in delay? What is the consequence in delay in lodging FIR? These two aspects, which is very important for different exams, these two aspects of FIR we are going to discuss in this classroom. So let's start with this first aspect. So evidentiary value of an FIR. To understand the evidentiary value, we have to refer to the Evidence Act and different section of Evidence Act. Right. Now, normally we know that FIR is not a substantive piece of evidence. Right. FIR is not a substantive piece of evidence. However, under certain conditions, under certain sections of Evidence Act, the FIR is considered to be a relevant evidence and an admissible evidence. Right. Here, the evidentiary value of FIR can be divided into two categories. Under one category, first category, it is substantive evidence. And in the other category, it is procedural evidence. So in both the category, under certain sections, FIR can be used. Let us first discuss about the substantive piece of evidence, FIR. Now, Section 6 of Evidence Act, which talks about same transaction. if the FIR was lodged as a part of same transaction, then that FIR becomes relevant under Section 6 of Indian Evidence Act. Again, under Section 7, which talks about cause and effect, if FIR explains a effect of a cause, effect or a cause, then it is also used under Section 7 of Indian Evidence Act. Section 8, conduct. Conduct, previous or subsequent. In both the cases, the FIR can be used as a evidence if FIR, lodging the FIR explains a conduct of any party, right? So under Section 8 also, it becomes relevant fact or relevant evidence. Section 21, admission. If the FIR has been lodged by the offender himself and he makes an admission, not a confession. Try to understand, there is a difference between admission and confession. Confession in FIR is not admissible, whereas admission in FIR is admissible. Admission is of a particular fact, whereas confession is the admission of guilt, right? So admission is not a admission of the guilt, it is of a particular fact. So under Section 21, if in the FIR there is an admission, it becomes relevant and it becomes admissible. Let's come to Section 27. Again, disclosure statement. If in the FIR there is a particular disclosure statement, only that part becomes relevant and it becomes admissible, right? Section 32(1), dying declaration. Right. So in this so many sections of Indian Evidence Act, the FIR becomes admissible and it becomes relevant as a substantive piece of evidence under these circumstances, as we explained. If we come to procedural evidence, Section 145 of Indian Evidence Act, it is used when contradiction. Now, as FIR is a written statement by the informant, right? So under Section 145, the informant, when he appears as a prosecution witness, the defense can contradict his previous statement as it is a written statement, right? Again, under Section 157, the prosecution, when the prosecution calls the informant as a witness, the FIR lodged by him can be used as a corroboration. But this corroboration can be used only of the informant and no other witnesses. Corroboration. And Section 159, refreshing the memory of the informant. Right. So under so many these sections of Indian Evidence Act and under these circumstances, the FIR is considered an evidence, although FIR by itself is not a substantive piece of evidence. I hope this point has been clear, right? So let us move to our next topic, that is the consequence in delay in lodging FIR. Now, under CRPC, no time frame has been given that within this time कि कोई ऐसे टाइम फ्रेम नहीं दिया गया है कि इस टाइम के अंदर FIR लॉन्च करना पड़ेगा, ऐसे कोई टाइम फ्रेम तो नहीं दिया गया है। लेकिन फिर भी आवर जस्टिस रिक्वायर्स दैट FIR शुड बी लॉन्च without any delay, right? Now, if there is a delay, the court will look for an plausible explanation. Court will look for a plausible explanation. If that plausible explanation is there, for example, in case of rape, the social stigma attached with rape is a plausible explanation in delay in lodging the FIR, right? So like this, there are different situation and circumstances in which there is plausible explanation for delay in lodging the FIR. So in those cases, the delay in lodging of FIR will have no effect on the case. But if the plausible explanation is not there, then there is a doubt on the prosecution case. Because whenever there is an unexplained delay, there is always chances that the story or the FIR, the content of the FIR has been manipulated or it has been concocted. कोई एक स्टोरी बना के FIR दर्ज किया गया है कि जो डिफेंडेंट है, जो डिफेंस है, उसको हैरास किया जाए, या फिर कोई अल्टीरियर मोटिव हो सकता है। लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं, ये अनएक्सप्लेन्ड डिले का मतलब ये नहीं कि द प्रोसिक्यूशन केस विल एब्सोल्युटली बी कैंसल्ड। नो, trial will go on, trial will be there, and inside the trial, the court will presume a doubt. The court will presume a doubt on the prosecution case. But if there are other solid evidences are there against the defendant, then the delay will not have any effect on the trial or in the prosecution case. But if there is not other solid evidence and the FIR's content is not corroborated with the other evidences, then this unexplained delay can be fatal to the prosecution case. ऐसे केसेस बहुत बार हुआ है कि डिले की वजह से प्रोसिक्यूशन केस ही एकदम पूरी तरह से बर्बाद हो गया है। ठीक है, सो आई होप आई हैव बीन एबल टू मेक दिस टू एस्पेक्ट क्लियर इन दिस।